What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another anime review. And this anime review is from one that was recommended by the Shits and Gigs podcast. I have talked about them before on the YouTube channel. I've done LEGO customs on both of the hosts, and it is a podcast that I do keep up with quite regularly. I watch it every time they upload a video, and it's a really good podcast, and they recommended this anime, so I decided to give it a watch. It is another 12-episode anime, which is one which I'm rather happy with, I'm gonna be honest. I do quite like my 12-episode animes, and I keep up with them as often as I can, because I enjoy anime, but it isn't something that I've been watching as of late. It's been something that, I have sort of neglected, I'm going to be honest. I haven't been watching as much anime as I normally have as of recent. I have been watching a lot more horror movies. I don't know why, but they've just been tickling my fancy. But now that we're back on the anime trip, I have taken a look at Wistoria Wands and Sword, which has one season with 12 episodes, roughly around 20 minutes each, so you can easily bash it out within 4 hours, one night like I did. And it did come out in 2024, so it is a recent anime, and you can watch this on Crunchyroll and also Amazon Prime. It has a 4.8 out of 5 on Crunchyroll. In a world where magic reigns, Will Surefoot can't cast a spell. Through hard working, Will's classmates thinks less of him for it. However, he has a secret strength, his sword. Can Will defy expectations with muscle over magic and blade over wand? Find out in this epic sword and sorcery adventure. Now, going into this, I expected it to be very similar to Magic, other Magic animes like Asta and Black Clover, and then also Mashley with Muscles and Magic. However, it did follow more closely to Mashley rather than Asta. However, it did have some similarities to both. It does still follow a school, a magic school, where he's a new student going through the ranks of being a wizard without any magic, like Mashal, but it isn't law to not have magic. He's just thought of less and bullied for it, and he does make up for it with his strengths like Asta and Mashal. Also, with Asta, he does fight with a sword, and he does have some really fucking cool fight scenes with said sword. However, back to the story. It does open with him just getting into the world, introducing us to his two friends, which are the only two people which don't treat him like shit, his jobs of a paper round and also working in a bar, and it sets up the story quite well because it goes into 3 parts. Him in class, going through dungeons, saving this red-haired guy, him going through a sort of Hunger Games-esque style school sports festival type thing, where they go and do a load of different trials, and they take on the blue hair, and he fucks him up, so he's taken down 2 of the big 3 of the school, and then he goes and continues his quest, being, invited to join the big 3 in a group to take on the next magical event that the school is hosting, and they take part in that, but a big villain organization comes in and fucks it up for them and tries to kill them because they're experimenting in the dungeon and they're trying out their new weapons on these children, and they end up actually defeating the monster, saving the day, and, getting their shit done. And that's pretty much the story, as a quick analysis of what happened, a quick overview of what happened. And I'm going to be honest, I loved it. It was so different to Mashal because the characters wasn't one note. The characters had personality, they had sort of character, they had interests. You could get behind each and every one of them. You could see the reasoning for why each and every one of them did what they did. They felt more human than they did in Mashal, and I loved it. The main character is very overly positive, like you would expect, but they also have their sort of crybaby moments like every main character, but I still resonated with him, and I still liked him, and I still rooted for him. Not in a way that I root for Deku in, My Hero, or that I root for Asta. I genuinely wanted him to succeed, and I genuinely wanted him to prove the rest wrong. He's the underdog, and it makes you care for him. It makes you actually want to see him rise to pass it all and win. And character design is incredible as well. I love his goggles. He reminds me so much of that one fairy from Tinkerbell, the one with the goggles, you know, like the Milo and Clagger fairies. People reference Arcane to them as well, and you know I love Arcane, so we gotta sneak in a little Arcane reference. But he reminds me of that elf so much, and there's so much mystery going on with this school as well, with this girl with glasses here working for the higher ups in the school to keep an eye on him and befriend him and sort of talk to him. So she's like a double agent. So there's all this stuff going on in the background, which makes you question why the school is doing this. And we also have a big overarching mystery because they live in the Sword Art Online Alicization sort of city, where there's that massive fuck off tower in the middle of their city, and he wants to work at the top of the tower. Now, the top of the tower is alluded to all the way through the series. It's what holds up the sky and gives them light. Now, that's fishy to me. I don't feel like that is what's actually going on at the top of that castle. I think there's something else going on at the top of that tower, because we never see what happens at the top of that tower, but it's a massive motivation for all of these characters to go and visit the top of the tower. So I feel like there's something more sinister going on, and something that'll be plot twisty when season 2 comes out. So I'm calling it right now. I'm putting in my suspicions right now that something shifty is happening at the top of this tower. Something not so nice, not so kind is happening at the top of this tower. It also does a power system really well. It's not like Hunter x Hunter or sort of Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia, where there is an announcer telling you the power system and how the powers work, who's the strongest, who does this, who does that, what the moves do, and how strong each and every character is. It just lets you watch it, and it is, again, showing, not telling, showing you how cool these characters are, showing you how strong these characters are, and how well they can overcome each other, and with the students respecting one another and looking up to each other or looking down on each other. It shows you who's the strongest. It does tell you, like, oh, these are the big three, but that's introducing them. It doesn't tell you why they're the big three until later on in the show, and you can see why they're the big three and why they're called the big three. That's what I like about this anime. It's a lovely show, not tell. Also, there's no over-sexualization of any of the characters, which I fucking adore. I love that when an anime provides no sexualization and just sticks to the good stuff, which is plot and animation of beautiful fight scenes, which this anime also had. There is so many beautiful fight scenes with all these different colors, and with magic, it is such a good way to show sort of animation. We have the bright colors of the spells, with the fast movements of the characters, the really beastly villains and monsters that they have to fight and go up against. It feels like Mashley meets Solo Leveling. It is such a good system. It is such a good anime because it has traits of both. The animation style is beautiful, the colors are brilliant, and it got me excited to play Harry Potter again. That's a game that I haven't played on the channel in a while, and this gave me the motivation to do more videos on it, to get back on that. I know I've been focusing a lot on Fortnite and some demos. That's just because I want something different from Fortnite, and Fortnite is currently putting out so much content that I'm struggling to keep up. So it got me motivated to do Hogwarts Legacy, which isn't like a bad thing. It isn't something that I haven't been motivated to do, but it made me push it to the front of my mind and made me play it more than what I would have done if I hadn't watched this anime. Also, it made me respect wizards more and want to make a wizard character for TP Heroes, which is my comic book series which I'm making. So if you are interested in that, definitely go check out the link in the description, which will take you to everything that I have to offer as a content creator, from my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Reddit, Discord, Cameo, comic book podcast, everything like that. So if you do fancy a look at that and see what my superhero stuff is all about, I do recommend it because it is really good and I update it quite often. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say about this anime. I am glazing it to infinity and beyond. I think it is a good anime. I think it is easily one of the contenders for best of the year. It blew my expectations out the water because we've had quite a few of these magical animes recently, and I felt like this one might have been a little bit repetitive, but it didn't. It took the sort of genre, it took what the others did and just ran with it and made it 10 times better. The characters are more human, the character designs are a lot nicer, and it does still have the basic sort of red, blue, green color scheme for the hairs, but it does give off a really good anime, which I have very much enjoyed. This one had me locked in. It had me on the edge of my seat, ready to watch the next one, ready to continue watching, and it is an anime where I didn't actually go on my phone at all while watching it. I was locked in, fully focused, fully ready, and not a lot of animes do that for me. Like, some animes I do like to play on my phone whilst watching, but this one had me locked in. This one got me excited and full of energy, and genuinely I was getting hyped up, and I love it when anime does that. I love it when TV shows and movies make you feel something. This one made me so hyped and so excited to watch another episode, to see how the fight was going, to get up and fight for myself. Like, it got me so excited and just ready to do anything. It made me feel like I could do anything, and I love it when animes are that sort of empowering and that, like, energetic. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. Other than that, there isn't really much else to say about this anime. It is a solid 10 out of 10 anime. I cannot find a flaw. It is really good. Storytelling-wise, pacing-wise, animation-wise, voice acting-wise, message-wise as well. It does follow the same message as, Mashley and Black Clover of, oh, you don't need magic, like, you can find your own strength in what you're good at, and you don't need to be the same as everyone else to be strong. So, other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.